Don't give up. If you're feeling like giving up, if you're feeling like tossing in the towel, if you're feeling like waving the white flag, if you're feeling like surrendering, my job in the next few minutes is to convince you not to give up. I think God has a word for you. I really do. And I think He might even use an old preacher like me to share it. 8 minutes, that's what I need. If you got them, hang around. We're going to talk about the miracle of the empty tomb and the stone that was rolled away. And I believe that miracle reminds us that our great God is always with us, ever near, that we are never, never alone. If you don't have the time, please, no worries. Post your prayer needs before you slip out. The Gospel of John tells us that on Sunday morning after the crucifixion, Mary Magdalene went to Jesus' tomb. Now this was a somber task for her. The morning promised only one encounter, an encounter with a corpse. Jesus the Christ had become Jesus the corpse. She did not know that this was the first Easter. She wasn't hoping that the tomb would be vacant. She wasn't preparing what her response would be when she saw the resurrected Jesus. She had absolutely no idea that the grave had been vacated. There was a time when she dared to dream, when she dared to hope for the impossible, but not now. It's too late for that. It's too late for the incredible. I mean, the feet that walked on the water had been pierced. The hands that healed the lepers and healed the sick had been still nailed to a cross. Noble aspirations had been spiked into Friday's crucifixion. Mary came to place warm oils on a cold body and bid farewell to the one man who gave reason to her hopes. But it wasn't hope that led Mary up the mountain trail that day to the empty tomb. It was duty. It was duty. It was just naked devotion. She expected nothing in return. What could Jesus give? He was dead. What could a dead man offer? She was not climbing the mountain to receive. She was going to the tomb to give. Period. That's it. There was no motivation more than that. But you know what? There's no motivation more noble. There are times when we too are called to give, called to love, expecting nothing in return. Times when we are called to give money to people who will never say thank you, to forgive those who won't ever offer forgiveness to us, to come early and to stay late when no one else notices, no one applauds. Service prompted by duty. This is the call of discipleship. And as Mary walked toward the tomb early that morning, in her call of discipleship, she was met with a huge surprise. The stone had been rolled away. The tomb was wide open. She thought someone had rolled the stone away. She thought someone had taken the body of Jesus. One interesting question to ask is, did the stone have to be removed in order for Jesus to come out? Did Jesus need help? Was the death conqueror so weak that he couldn't push the stone away, push the rock away? Hey, could somebody out there help me? I'm stuck inside the grave. I need somebody to move the rock so I can get out. You know, I've wondered, perhaps that stone wasn't moved so Jesus could come out. Perhaps it was moved for us who needed to see in. Look what happened next. She ran and fetched John and Peter, and both peered into the tomb. And when John looked into the empty tomb and he saw the linen wrapping and the vacant slab, he saw the place where Jesus' body had been. John says he saw and believed. John 20 and verse 8. Now, he didn't understand all the intricacies of the resurrection, but he did understand that life was going to be different from then on. He understood that their rabbi conquered death. Let's look at what happened to Mary when she peered into the empty tomb. John tells us that as she was weeping, she saw two angels, white, sitting where the body of Jesus had been lying. She saw two angels. That's in verse 12 of John chapter 20. And then Jesus appeared to her. At first she thought he was the gardener. But when he said her name, she realized it was her Messiah, her teacher, her Savior. Like Peter, like John, Mary's look, Mary's gaze into the tomb helped her believe. And if the gaze into the empty tomb wasn't enough, Jesus brought angels and himself to surround her. You see, our God is a God of surprises. It's as if he said, I can't wait any longer. Mary came this far to see me. I'm just going to drop in on her. God does that for the faithful, friend. He does that. Just when the womb gets too old for babies, Sarah gets pregnant. Just when the failure is too great for grace, David is pardoned. And just when the road is too dark for Mary, the angel glows and the Savior shows, and Mary will never be the same. The lesson? 3 words. Don't give up. Don't give up. Is the trail dark? Don't sit. Is the road long? Don't quit. Is the night black? Please don't quit. God is watching. God is watching. For all you know, at this very moment, your stone may be rolling. The check may be in the mail. The apology may be in the making. The job contract may be on the desk. Please don't quit. Please don't quit. For if you do, you might miss the answer to your prayers. God still sends angels. God still moves stones. And God will come to meet you when and where you most need it. Remember, you're never alone. You're always in the presence of your loving Savior. Don't quit.